We continue first order PD. In previous lecture, we described how you can solve some linear partial differential equations. So between linear and non-linear, there are few, you can say non-linear, but they are easy to solve. So they are known as semi-linear. Other one is quasi-linear, and further you have non-linear. So the semi-linear, they they are equations in which the coefficient of the term involving highest order derivative of u depend only on x, not on u, not on its derivative. For example, we write uh, ut plus ux plus u square equals 0. This is semi-linear. So coefficient of the highest derivative, so which are 1, that depend on only on x. So you may have x here, so x or y, there is no problem, but not u. So derivative term, they you can say derivative terms are linear, and other term without derivative you may have a nonlinear function in u. They are semi-linear. Also, you can let us say take second order. Okay, so highest order, this is uxx. This is free from u, so only one u. This is linear in highest order derivative. But with first order derivative, you can have nonlinear term. So this is again semi-linear. So another one is quasi-linear equation in which coefficient of highest order derivative may depend on u as well. Okay, so likewise, you maybe you if you have u here, okay, so then it is quasi-linear. That can have u, but not derivative of u. So, for example, ut plus ux equals 0. This is quasi-linear. So, highest order derivative can have independent variable. Here we have x and t. So, can have x and t. Also, you can have u. So highest order coefficient is a function of independent variable t, x, and dependent variable u. What about this equation? A is a function of u. That is again quasi-linear. You may have ut plus sine ux. But if we have other equations like this, then they are non-linear. Let us also write one example of linear as well. So ut plus x u x equal to 0, this is linear. So, so linearity means differential operator is linear operator. Operator is linear. What are semi-linear? Coefficient of highest derivative of u depend only on independent variable t x, but not on u. And in quasi-linear, coefficient of highest order derivative may depend on u. And any equation which don't fall in these of category, that is called non-linear. For example, uh, in second last, if you have ut plus ux equals 0, and you may have something like that. So then this is also non-linear. So in other words, from the solution perspective, linear one, they are easy to solve somehow. Also, you can apply the same strategy to solve a semi-linear and quasi-linear as well. So in first order, the theory of linear, semi-linear, and quasi-linear is quite, you can say, similar. But unfortunately for non-linear PD, we don't have much theory to solve them. So before proceeding to solution of these these partial differential equations, firstly we study their origin. So from where these PD PD originate. Of course, PD originate from physical processes. They they originate from chemical reaction. In every real life, the phenomena they originate. Those who have studied physics, they have studied many equations in physics as well. Even in chemical sciences, even in biological sciences, there are many phenomena which can be modeled by PD. Okay, so you can think in term of derivative. What is derivative? Dy by dt. That is change with respect to time. So if your y depend on more than one variable, you will get partial differential equation. And if y depend only on one variable, you get OD. And real life phenomena, of course, they originate many nonlinear PD. So we will study mainly two. Firstly, that you have studied in your high school or in college, that by eliminating the constants, you can get PD. By eliminating constants, or you can say arbitrary functions, you get PD. For example, Let us consider the equation x square plus y square plus u minus c equals a square, where a and c are arbitrary constants. This equation represents the set of all spheres, okay? Set of all spheres whose center lies on the u axis. You can write z if you want. I have written u means unknown function. That is that is my dependent variable. So so here x and y, they are independent variable, and u is a function of x and y. So we differentiate with respect to x and y to get PD. We differentiate with respect to x and y. Of course, you have more than one variable, so partial derivative will occur. So firstly, differentiate with respect to x, and you can leave 2. Okay, so again differentiate with respect to y. Also ux will be here. Or or in short we can write. Similarly, so getting of PD from the given set of equations means you need to eliminate the constants A and C. So from these two, eliminate C. So u minus C in both equations. So you can find u minus C from first and substitute it in second. So this gives, so y ux minus x uy equals 0. Okay, so this is the PD. So in the same sense, the set of all spheres with center on u axis can be characterized by the given partial differential equation. So either you write this equation without derivative, or you write partial differential equation. So both are same. In other words, from this you can say solution, you got PD, and you can go back as well. And of course, in this course we will go back. So you have differential equation, you find the solution. So in the similar manner, you can get PDs by eliminating arbitrary functions. So for example, eliminate the arbitrary functions from the given equations. First, you x square plus y square plus u square. You can also write z square if you want, so there is no problem. U or z both are same thing. 2xy equals 0. Of course, in first, u is a function of x and y. In second, z is a function of x and y. So in the same manner, as we did in previous example, try to eliminate functions. So how you do that? Of course, we need to get PD. In order to get PD, you need to differentiate with respect to x and y. Okay, so on your copy, please differentiate and let me know the answer. In first, you have so differentiating with respect to x. What you got? Ux equals also you can we will see further you can add one important line here. In both, f is a function of single variable. Although it seems unusual, but you can say f is a function which contains xy by u. So in each term, you will get, you can fit xy by u equals t. F, you can write f of t in first. Of course, in first, where f is a function of single variable. And in second, it is function of two variable. So single means when you differentiate with respect to x, you got ordinary derivative. So what is ordinary derivative? You can write df, etc. So we will write with f dash, or you can fit xy by u equals t, then this will be df by dt. Okay, so f dash xy upon u. So if you fit xy upon u equals t, and you are differentiating with respect to x, so you can apply chain rule if you want. Okay, so you, in other words, this is df by dx if you are not fitting t. So you are differentiating with respect to x. So apply chain rule. So xy upon u, derivative of x will be 1 and you will get y upon u. Similarly, differentiating with respect to y, that will give you uy.
सर यू को डिफरेंशिएट नहीं करना आगे.
सिंगल वेरिएबल का फंक्शन बोल रहा हूँ ना. तो अदर देन x, all will be treated as constant. या आप इसको t फिट कर लो.
सर बट हमने यू को ही लिखा है, यू इज अ फंक्शन ऑफ एक्स एंड वाई, तो अंदर भी इसके यू आया, वो भी तो
नहीं, वो अंदर है, बट व्हाट इज f? f is a function of single variable xy by u. You can write this xy upon u. तो आप इसमें फिट कर सकते हो एक्स वाई बाई यू को टी, तो ये एफ टी है, एक ही वेरिएबल का फंक्शन है. ये नेचर है, हम आगे देखेंगे, वी विल सी फर्दर इन सोल्यूशन दैट दिस फंक्शन एक्चुअली विल बी ए फंक्शन ऑफ ओनली वन वेरिएबल. वन वेरिएबल होता है तो क्या आता है सर? ऑर्डिनरी डेरिवेटिव. So differentiate only with respect to x, not others. Then differentiating with respect to y, what you got? df by dy, या या आप t फिट कर लो आप उसके सेंस में, x अपॉन u.
X one U.
सो एलिमिनेटिंग, मतलब ये दोनों एक्चुअली सेम है. मैं df by dx भी गलत बोला हूँ उसको. You can fit, you can put xy upon u equals t, then treat this just ft. Okay. तो जब आप x के सेंस में करोगे तो इसका डेरिवेटिव x का 1 हो जाएगा, तो dt क्या बन जाएगा? जस्ट y अपॉन u. और सेकंड में x अपॉन u. जस्ट डिफरेंशिएट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू. अब इधर लेफ्ट में हम पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव लिख रहे हैं. क्यों लिख रहे हैं? क्योंकि u इज ए फंक्शन ऑफ टू वेरिएबल. दो चीजें हैं. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड u इज ए फंक्शन ऑफ टू वेरिएबल, but in right hand side there is a f which is a function of single variable. So eliminate the arbitrary function. Eliminating arbitrary functions. So arbitrary function, आप इनको डिवाइड कर दो या जो भी करना है. कैसे करोगे? If you only just divide, so you got ux upon uy, y upon u, x upon u. So this will be xux minus y uy
U Y
equals
equal to 0.
0. We will see further कि ये that will come out a single variable. Let me know second. Please do it. Second example. To make notation simple, in first you have x square plus y square plus z square. इनको आप फिट कर लो t कुछ t u भी फिट कर लो. That u equals, लिखना थोड़ा that will be simple, and v equal to, okay. So find ux.
सर 2x 2y और 2z.
What will be ux?
2x.
uy, 2y, uz. That you have done maybe in your graduation as well. No?
Yes sir.
v, y, v, z. Now differentiating, now go to relation. So we will use these intermediate calculations. Just go to the relation. Now you have, so differentiate this relation with respect to x and y. Directly नहीं है, ठीक है. f is a function of u. So firstly you differentiate with respect to u, then u will go to x. Also u will goes to z and z will goes to x. You can write this term outside if you want. So
सर विद रिस्पेक्ट टू जेड क्यों नहीं किया आपने?
with respect to
जेड डिफरेंशिएटिंग विद रिस्पेक्ट टू एक्स एंड वाई किया.
इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल के सेंस में करना है ना, एक्स एंड वाई। जो पहले मैंने पिछले प्रॉब्लम्स में जो यू लिखा था वो उसकी जगह जेड है यहाँ पे।
ओके.
Similarly, replace x with y, and in derivative of f, this is 2 cross 2 system, homogeneous है। If you see these things, so let us say this is A, this is B, A, B. Okay, so this is equals 0, so this is linear system, and you want to find or you want to eliminate A and B. So how you proceed? या पहले वैल्यू फिट कर लो इसमें, फर्स्टली फिट द वैल्यू 2x प्लस 2z प्लस माइनस 2y, फिट द वैल्यूज ऑफ डेरिवेटिव्स, देन एलिमिनेट करली f by करली u and करली f by करली v. Eliminate what you got. This is homogeneous system in curly f by curly u and curly f by curly v. This will always have zero solution. To get non-zero solution, what are the conditions?
Determinant zero.
Determinant of coefficient that is equals 0. So condition use कर लो. You can leave 2 if you want. 2 is common. Okay. I have not. Or you just cross multiply. You got the same thing. Okay. To eliminate. फर्स्ट से एक वैल्यू निकाल लो, कर ली f by कर ली u, सेकंड में फिट कर दो और सॉल्व इट इन एनी मैनर. So just cross multiply and simplify. Just cross multiply. You got z curly z by curly y minus curly z by curly x equal x minus y. So this is the resulting PD. So in OD you had arbitrary constants, and in PD you may have arbitrary functions. So by eliminating constants or functions, you can get PD. Also, you get PDs from physical processes. So time to time, we will drive some of the PDs. In first order, I'm going to drive next the famous transport equation, how that equation originate. So next one is, so second heading from physical or other processes, you get PD. So I'm going to take an example, that is transport So transportation can be anything. You may assume that on a road there is a traffic. Okay, so maybe that you can assume density of vehicles traveling on the road, transport of vehicles, or you have a river and there are some pollutants you are fitting inside. So transportation of those pollutant with water. So transport can be of anything, but basic principle of transportation is same. So this equation arises in many applications. So let U be density, that is mass per unit volume of some substance. And we assume that the geometry of the problem is well approximated by a line. For example, some pollutant in a river in a river or cars on a road with the coordinate x. So we are assuming that linear motion, not like zigzag. Okay, so problem can be approximated by with the line. So maybe cars or they are going in some direction. So approximate linear, not exactly. So density at the point x at a time t is that I have written earlier u. So u is a function of x and t. So that number of cars that depend on time and mass and at position, and what is u, that is mass per unit volume. Also we assume that in a segment, you are taking for example car, so in a segment, so cars cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. तो कंजर्व है ये एक सेगमेंट के अंदर. अगर पॉल्यूटेंट रिवर के अंदर है तो वो कांस्टेंट है कि मतलब ना तो वो खत्म हो रहे हैं ना आप उसमें एक्स्ट्रा डाल रहे हो उसके अंदर. So that is known as conservation. So we assume that if you don't have conservation, then that will be some difficult process. So we assume that U stays, U is, you can say U is conserved. मैथ में इसको बोलते हैं सोर्स और सिंक नहीं है, नो सोर्स नो सिंक. And we calculate the change of the substance in some interval x1 x2. Let us take small interval x1 to x2. कहने का मीनिंग है कि इस इंटरवल के अंदर जो u है वो कंजर्व्ड है, चेंज होगा बट कंजर्व है। कंजर्व होने का मीनिंग है कि जो कार होगा, ना तो यू आर नॉट ड्रॉपिंग एडिशनली हियर, ऊपर से कोई कार फेंक नहीं रहे आप, है ना, ना कोई कार वहां पे खत्म हो रहा है ना। सो जितना x1 से एंटर हुआ उतना ही x2 पे एग्जिट कर जाएगा, जितनी क्वांटिटी एंटर हुई उतना उतना एग्जिट होगा। हाँ, वो कार खराब हो जाए वो अलग चीज है, दैट इज डिफरेंट प्रोसेस। खराब होके यहीं खड़ गया वो, तो वो कहाँ पे जाएगा, वो सोर्स में जाएगा, मतलब सिंक है, सिंक में जाएगा। और अगर एडिशनली फिट डालोगे आप, वो सोर्स मतलब आप एक्स्ट्रा ऐड ऑन कर रहे हो। So we are assuming that this is constant. So now we study change in U. The total amount of U in this interval x1 x2 at time t is, प्रोसेस को कंटिन्यूस मान के इंटीग्रल कर दो, ये तो डेंसिटी है ना। जैसे आप प्रोबेबिलिटी में पढ़ते हो, प्रोबेबिलिटी डेंसिटी फंक्शन दे रखा हो, प्रोबेबिलिटी निकालते हो तो इंटीग्रल करके एक सर्टेन अमाउंट। सो to total amount of u in that interval, it will be in, so this is a density का integral होगा, that will give you total amount of u in that small interval. Now find its change at time t. Also mathematically, uh, you can assume that u is smooth, means you can differentiate, assuming that u is smooth. So mathematical smoothness means you can differentiate, there are no sharp peaks. So it's change at time t. चेंज कैसे निकालोगे, डी बाई डी टी टोटल है, इंटीग्रल इसका डेरिवेटिव कर दो, चेंज डी बाई डी टी। आल्सो you can push derivative inside, but derivative अंदर लेके जाओगे तो ये u is a function of two variable, you can write curly u by curly t instead of d by dt. At the same time, the same change is given by एक नया फंक्शन लिख रहा हूँ, क्यू एक्स वन टी माइनस क्यू एक्स टू टी, वेयर क्यू एक्स टी is the flux of the same substance that is the change of this substance per time unit at point x. अब जो ऊपर क्वांटिटी है वो तो हमने इंटीग्रल के सेंस में लिखा है। क्यू क्या है? फ्लक्स। अब फ्लक्स का मीनिंग है कि लेफ्ट हैंड पे कोई चीज कितना एंटरिंग हो रहा है और राइट से कितना एग्जिट हो रहा है। सो this is the flux, that is change of this substance per unit time at point x. तो बेसिकली जो क्यू एक्स वन टी है, लेफ्ट, दिस इज क्यू एक्स वन टी, क्यू एक्स वन टी, फर्स्ट नंबर, दिस टेल्स अस दैट हाउ मच सबस्टांस एंटर, कितना एंटर हुआ, पॉजिटिव साइन मतलब एडिशन है, एंटर हो रहा है। एंड व्हाट इज क्यू एक्स टू टी विद नेगेटिव साइन? This means that qx2t, that how much substance leaving at right boundary. So this is leaving. Leaving वाले को हमने लिखा है क्योंकि कम हो रहा है, so that will be negative with negative sign. How much entering, how much leaving. अब कंजर्वेशन क्या कहता है कि ये कंजर्व रहेगा। कंजर्व रहेगा तो जो फर्स्ट चेंज हमने लिखा है इक्वेशन, so that first change equals to this change. Okay, so now we quickly we write basically, just write in short. So qx1t, so how much substance enters at time t at left boundary x1, and qx2t, how much substance leaves at time t at right boundary x2. So by conservation, so both changes, the first change था, that equals this change. सेकंड को भी आप ये लिख सकते हो इंटीग्रल के सेंस में। क्या लिखोगे? इसको क्यू एक्स कर दो, पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव, ठीक है। इंटीग्रल करोगे तो डेरिवेटिव हट जाएगा ना, क्यू बचेगा, अपर लिमिट माइनस लोअर लिमिट, तो उल्टा करोगे तो ये x1 टू x2 बन जाएगा। So you can say this is just application of fundamental theorem of calculus. Okay, so integral of qx will be q, then you fit upper limit qx2, negative sign bar hai, then you fit lower limit x1, minus will be plus by applying fundamental theorem of calculus. So finally, so that integral for every x and t, this is equals 0. So so this is true for any interval. So if any integral is 0 for any interval, so you can say that integrand is also 0. So ut plus qx equals 0. So this is famous transport equation. And we will study some cases of that flux q. This flux can be, q can be some constant multiple of u. So in that case, you got ut plus cux equals, sorry, cux equals to 0, and this is called linear one-dimensional transport equation. Also, you can put some initial value. So also you can specify the initial density, which is f of x, when t equal to 0, you know the u. Likewise, OD, you can study initial value problem by specifying the initial density. So by simplifying the physical principles, you can get PD. Also, this is just simple, but note derivations of PDs are not so much simple. So in next class, we will move to, of course, their solution strategy. This is just a motivation that how these equations originate from physical principles.
Sir, what is the meaning of this line? Also, u of x comma 0 is equals to f of x.
Also, we can specify initial value, initial condition.
Okay.
So you may have a problem that solve this PD with initial condition. And in some cases, this will be, that is also happening. So use a U. Okay, so we will take when we solve these PDs. So these are cases. In fact, uh, we have seen Berger equation. So in that case, Q is U square. So you differentiate, you got U Ux. Okay, so we will continue tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye for today.